Howdy guys, Rex here. You know, you got to have them radios squared away for when it hits the fan. It's going to be very important that you have your unidirectional, quasi-dimensional NG47 Alpha Tango turbo antenna, perfectly with the exact right wire connectors to your super programmable, programmed by Professor Von X himself, radio frequency hopping, whatever the hell, SingARS 5000, ultra compact delayed radar signature radio thing, right? There are some things that folks might not have thought of, and I want everyone to realize there are some bad things that could happen if you just run out into a world of conflict with your new toys, not understanding the big picture. And I'm not like an expert on this, but I do know a couple things, so I'll share them with you. There are 5 big giant things I want you guys to know. This isn't very likely, but if you're imagining that we're going to be in some kind of a Red Dawn situation, right? Like a legitimate low-intensity conflict, civil war / invasion of Russia or China kind of conflict where we're actually running around in the bushes with our radios and our sniper rifles and our AKs and whatever, right? Helping Patrick Swayze do his grenade throw at the armored column coming up the mountain. If that's the situation you actually find yourself in, which is probably very unlikely, we're not going to make it like 2 days past when the water turns off. Or like when the internet turns off, like we're not going to make it very much past there. But let's say you do. Let's say you're really tough. You and Patrick Swayze and what's that guy's name? Charlie Sheen. Run up in the mountains. You're going to have your radio and it's going to be all ready to go. And let's say you got it perfectly set up, it's programmed, you guys got your special cut crystal that's like between certain frequencies so other guys on FRS and whatever can't, hear you, or like maybe you got your perfect ham frequency all squared away on your Bofang UV5R Plus or whatever, right? And let's say one day you're sitting in the bush, just chilling, and you've been up there for months and you've had pretty good discipline on the radio, you know not to just chatter away on there. And one day you're reaching over to scratch yourself right here, maybe grab one of the stogies you get off one of the dead Russian colonels. And as you're grabbing your stogie, you got your little radio button here, see? And you accidentally just key it for a half a second. You hit the button for a half a second. If you are engaged in a conflict with any first world enemy that wants to get you in a low intensity conflict zone, the second you key that radio for half a second, some dude in a van or in an armored vehicle with a bunch of antennas sticking out of it is going to see on his display, which is like a graph of all the different possible electromagnetic frequencies being projected, beep, a little spike. The computer's going to highlight that spike and say, oh, that's a 5-watt signal at this whatever deal coming from here. That's what these guys usually run in this area. It's going to go through their little algorithm. It's going to go through their little checklist. They'll send that over to fire directional control guy, and they'll get rocket artillery. And within 40 seconds of keying that mic, or maybe a few minutes, depends how, what the proximity is, how ready they are. As long as it takes them to get your location to the fire directional control guy, and they send that over to the MLRS, you're going to be dancing in the steel rain. Everything within that grid is toast. Any farmer you keyed your mic next to is gone. Any of the sheep standing out there you keyed your mic next to is going to be gone. You're just going to be complete toast. That's the one thing I want you to understand, even if you make it all the way into your Red Dawn situation, okay? More likely, let's say a similar situation, you're running around, when it all goes down and you and your homies got this network set up, like we're all like tactical, we have like our, the guerrilla underground, and we have the whatever guys, and we have the commandant over here, we got to pass this suitcase to some guy, and you're running around with your radio. They might not just smoke you right away. Here's what is more likely to happen. You're going to key your radio because you reach for the stogie from the dead Russian colonel. You're going to key it for half a second. They're going to see that blip come up on their RDF device. They're going to RDF you. They're going to know where you're at. They're going to sync that with the damn iPhone you had by the car. Okay? That was turned off. You didn't realize it was turned off, but it was. And it's still putting off signals that you don't know are there. They're going to go, oh, it's him. let's watch that guy. They're going to follow and track you for maybe a few weeks or a couple months. For a couple months, you're going to think you're real sneaky, sneaking around, passing off suitcases like, all right, guys, here's how we're going to fight the Russians. We're going to have a meeting in the basement of the church. No one will know we're there. Half the guys bring their damn phones. Well, I turned it off, you know. Oh, okay, good. That's awesome. So everyone's phones are in a giant pile. They're just collecting data, stacking it up in the file cabinet, like, all right, digital file cabinet. And then, like, after a couple months, when they got enough of the network basically completely blueprinted and mapped out, they're going to pass it to some outfit. They're going to approve the mission, and they're going to kick in every single person's doors that was on that list, plus all their cousins. They're going to know where those people talk to, and all of a sudden you'll have like 47 raids all at the exact same time across the entire area, and the entire network is going to be just completely shut down. And the whole time you think you're sneaky because you have your phone or your radio or your sat, whatever you're using, all that stuff can be tracked. Yes, an iPhone or any smartphone can be tracked very easily, but a radio, they can RDF that in a second. Like, they've been doing that since like the Great War, you know what I mean? So be mindful of that as well. All right, another big thing that's going to happen. This is maybe the third most likely thing you're going to have to worry about, based on what I was, going through in my mind here. So you got all this stuff. You got all these cool antennas. You got all the, you bought all their stuff. And all of a sudden, one day you're going to find yourself, you turn on the news, the Chinese invaded the Stratly Islands. They got paratroopers coming down in Canada, and they're taking out like certain key points of communication. It's going down. So you call a meeting with your buddies. You all get there? All right, boys, this is the day we've been waiting for. Good thing we spent $782 on eBay a piece. We all got the best, Ultramatic 5000K Alpha Niner Tango systems. And right, who brought the programming cable? Excuse me, there's no internet. Who brought the instructions? The instruction manual. Oh shit. Well, that didn't work out so good, right? Like, people buy stuff, but then they never program it. They never make sure it's compatible with other people's programming. And then they don't test it to make sure they all know how to do it. And they don't practice with it. Like, all right, who brought the concepts of communication on radio, and who has the call sign sheet? What's 1020 mean? I don't know what the hell these things mean. I forgot. Who brought the notebook? That's very likely to happen. I'd say 95% of folks who collect radio stuff, that's gonna be what's gonna happen to them right there. Gonna have all the stuff there, and it's not set up. You never practice with it, and that's all there is to it, right? Another super, super likely thing that could happen is you get out there and you have all this high-speed, stuff strapped to your car. You got antennas sticking off of it. You got all your other junk. You got your, you can talk to airplanes. You can talk to whatever. And you're going to drive out there with your giant communication pod on your back and attach to your car, interfacing with whatever. I don't know what kind of stuff they have nowadays, okay? You're going to realize you don't have anybody to talk to. Like, all right, Alpha Zulu 13, shit. I don't have any friends you're going to be talking to nobody. Who else nerded out that much with you? You got to have a network of guys that are all on the same page with enough discipline to actually do all that stuff. Okay? What's the most likely thing to happen? You're going to find, and comms are super, super important in a lot of scenarios. But you're going to find that you never even get to any spot where you're going to need to use them. Because in a list of priorities, in a checklist of things that take you out way before you get to that point, most of us don't have the basics covered. If you don't got a well in your yard that you can operate on some kind of hand pump, what if utilities go down because the Russians hacked it? They can hack pipes now. You hear that on the news? I don't understand how they hack a pipe. In my day, you called a guy on the phone with a cord on it and be like, hey, what's the meter reading on the other side of this pipe? Oh, 173.8. Okay, good. Matches my number, almost. Minusing for friction in the pipe and thermal expansion or whatever, right? Now they can hack pipes. So like the water pipes, the gas lines, the gasoline. What about food distribution? Let's say there's a freaking chemical plant burns down in Illinois and all the grease is gone. And now there's no big rigs running the roads because there's no grease, and the entire supply chain had a bottleneck event. Something like that happened. Now you got no food. If none of the guys, you're not going to even get to the point where a radio would help you if none of your buddies are prepared to help you, right? Okay, I got all these radios. All right, Pete, you got the bag of rice? Nope. Shit. Hey, Ben, do you have Uncle Ben's rice? Nope. I didn't buy any of that. I bought ammo. Okay. Hey, Julie, you got the cheeseburgers? No, I got silver and really fancy folding knives. Well, shit. Everyone's preparing to go jumping in circles, doing backflips like on that Nintendo game Contra, fighting the aliens, shooting from the hip with the spread gun or whatever, right? From the Nintendo game. That's what we're gearing for. But everyone forgets that maybe you're going to wake up that morning before you put on your Contra gear and grab your spread cannon to go jump over the flaming bridge and shoot aliens in the face, right? Space aliens. But when you wake up that morning to do all those cool things, you're going to realize, man, I wish I had a freaking glass of water. I'm thirsty. My brain ain't firing on all 8 cylinders since the water went out 2 days ago. In fact, am I even standing in this room? You're not even going to know where you're at because you didn't have a damn drink of water. Your furnace went out. It's October in the north. You froze. Your feet are frozen. They're turning blue because you didn't have a heating alternative. You didn't have a propane heater or some kind of backup or a wood stove that was working, or you had a wood stove but you didn't have any damn wood cut, right? Or all right, guys, we got all our, let's say you have all that stuff even. This is before you need the radio, right? You got your food, you got your water, you got your wood burning stove. Let's say you need to fight somebody. Oh shit, I never dug a hole anywhere around my property. You're just standing out in the open. You didn't dig any fighting positions. You just stand out there shit, I don't know what to hide behind. I could hide behind this Honda Civic, but that's really not going to help a lot. And you're going to get smoked before you can call for backup from your buddies. So people get attached to these highly technical purchases, which are cool. But you need to have all the other stuff covered first, man. Because if it ain't covered, they're going to be covering you with dirt before you ever get to press your buttons. It's just the way it works. And that stuff will straighten itself out in the first week or two. And then there's not going to be a lot of dudes running around out there. Most of the guys that would consider themselves to be prepared for the SHTF situation are going to die of thirst in day 3. And then they'll be eating their dogs and cats by day 5 if they could find water in the creek and dodge the sniper fire on the way to the creek, or to go out on the roof and try to adjust their gutters to go into a bucket so they could, and praying, doing the rain dance, hoping for rain, right? People are going to get taken out way before any buddy has a chance to do a barrel roll under some tank with a radio, be all right, set off the daisy chain on the bridge, boom, 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 and then you get to do whatever, right? That stuff you're not gonna get that far. I'm just pretty sure about this for some reason. Hopefully that was helpful. Cover the basics, man. Cover the basics.